Hi guys, it's me again. Today I'm going to explain you why I think Synchro Eldlich is the best deck in the format. To do that, I will likely have to explain why the hell we got here. Like at the start of the format, COVID thing was already real, so Dual Overload released with no events Crystal Halki Fibrax has not been played in any single physical event. So yeah, what happened there is that people was experimenting. Then we had the Secret Slayers release, and then after that we saw Pure Eldlich as the best deck, right? And that's when we start seeing stuff like Curie Bandit or Skill Drain or Imperial Order, but that reign was like short-lived. Like usually, what happens with these back row heavy decks or pseudo control decks is that they are terrible going second. So what happened there is that Adamancypators saw an opportunity cost and started to punish the meta. That's why at some point of April, like for 2 weeks, we saw a total dominance by Adamancypators, and Eldlich started to be cycled out of the meta. That's until last week. Well, last week like May 1st, more or less than that. Yeah, more or less. Well, that's kind of a nonsensical expression in English, so sorry. So it's kinda there, like May 1st. Uh, we saw a resurgence of the Eldlich deck, guided by the hand of Synchro Eldlich. Why is this deck so successful, and why I think this is the best deck in the format? Well, the first thing is that if you talk to a top player, they are likely going to tell you this truth, which is unavoidable. Combo deck mirror matches, that includes the Adamancypator mirror match, uh, have this weird tendency to be decided by the die roll. And that's not good if you want to increase your odds of winning everything, right? That's simply not good. That's not gonna cut it. So this Synchro Eldlich deck, more than the Synchro part, forget about the Synchro part. The important part about this deck is that it solves that problem. Like if we take Adamancypators at face value, what happens is that we have a deck that consists of 40 combo pieces. Basically, like they have 3-5 flexi slots, but pretty much the rest of the cards are combo pieces. And that's a big disadvantage because you don't have that many pieces of interaction. Well, Synchro Eldlich fixes that and plays incredibly stupidly high amount of hand traps, like usually 12, but it's definitely possible to go to 15. So that's pretty much it. So that will allow you to open with one more than 90% of the time, and with two more like 50% of the time, which is really good, because even if you lose the die roll, like you have a 50% chance to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So in game one, so that's really good, and something that is likely going to win you more games than bigger combos. So what basically happened is that this deck has all of the advantages of the Adamancypator deck, but none of the disadvantages. That's the reason I think this is the best deck. So I'm going to explain you the card by card and the theory behind the deck, which is basically a cookie cutter deck by this point, because most lists of this thing are going to be quite similar at this point in time. But the theory behind this is that Nibiru is more effective when paired with another hand trap, especially effect negation hand traps. This is why people started to play even in Crescent instead of Impermanence, because we also have like Phantasme and Librarian, both get you extra cards on your opponent's turn, and that happens quite often. Versus Adamancypator or versus Eldlich Synchro, what happens is that Librarian needs to be cleared out by your opponent, but to clear him out they are going to need to get two big monsters first, and because both decks are so synchro heavy, what is usually going to happen is that they are going to have to synchro to get there. So that is why most people is changing Impermanence for other options. So yeah, the goal would be to open to hand traps, ideally Nibiru and any other hand trap, right? Why two Golden Boys? Two Golden Boys is an important question because Golden Boy is basically an accessory in this deck. It's not a key player, it's basically just a recurring a recurring bit stick in case something goes awfully sour, and then you can discard any of these cards and get a 35k monster. That's its main role. Then we have Phantasme. People was literally nuts when they thought Phantasme was a bad card on the new Master Rule. Like pretty much every combo deck needs a link to get to its massive broken combos. Pretty much 90% of the time it's going to be Hulky Fibrax, but we have like LP, Cherubini or Isolt as alternative broken link starters. So Phantasme is always going to get you value, especially when they get to Rodden, because you're going to see 3 more cards from your deck, which means more chances to see more hand traps. So that's basically supplements the strategy perfectly. And then Ash Blossom, many people who knows me knows that I don't like this card because it's super low impact. The thing is that it's the most versatile hand trap, and our deck is basically hand trap dot deck, so it fits well here. Baylor, I already explained why. And Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is literally another underplayed card. Ghost Ogre is not that effective against an Emancipator because many people is unjustified, has unjustified bias against it because of Block Dragon. But it's the best card to stop a fibrax combo because it cuts a vital piece to go into link cross, so it basically allows them to summon a toner and then lose the link cross access. In an Emancipator that might not be that much of an issue because they might have something to extend, but the output is going to be reduced anyway. In Synchro Eldlich is basically stopping the full combo, so that's really important. This card should see more play. And then we have 2 Olions. Olion is important to always have in deck, so we play 2 to avoid that situation. And it's not that bad to draw one because you can banish one from the graveyard to summon the other one. So that's pretty good. I mean, doesn't come often. It comes more often in other combo decks, but it's still an option to get an extra value from this guy. Then we have just the Lone Despot 001, the 3-jet Synchron. Then we have 1 Elixir of Black Awakening. I played 1 because it's critical for a search for Curse Eldland to discard for Jet Synchron and get like a Conquistador, Waquero or Golden Land forever. So that's why I play it, retuning. It's like basically Sour Engine. And then standard Golden Boot Ratios, except for Conquistador and Waquero. I decided to play 2 of each because this deck has no intention to green, like it has no need to green, to go to a green game. What usually happens is that you combo them turn 1, and then they are unable to break your board. But the times that happen and they play like around the 2 or 3 hand traps we always have, is that I could recombo them again in a shorter version of the combo. That's why we play like 2 Urodons and 2 Hulky Fibraxes, which basically ends on a level like Synchro and Arclight. In a simplified game state, that's enough to win the game, so we don't have need to grind more. And I think this is going to basically be the next step for the deck, like to start cutting in these cards. Right, so the extra deck is pretty basic. It's combo piece, combo piece, combo piece. All of the links are combo pieces. This is a combo piece. This is for the auxiliary combo. This is just to get another card draw in the combo. Key combo piece. This is versus an Emancipator to deal with Black Dragon. And the second level 8 Synchro to deal to recombo. And then the basic level 8 Synchros. So that's it. I'm gonna show you the combos before finishing up the videos, right? So this is the first combo. This is just Jet Synchron and a discard. So we basically summon Jet Synchron, summon Linkuriboh, discard 1 for Jet Synchron, Hulky Fibrax, that's what 001, Linkers for 2 tokens, then Linkuriboh, change 1 token, then Barricade Bolt Blaster to have like, we traded like 1 Linkers and 1 Linkuriboh for another matching, and so we could have enough materials for Aurora. Then like we get the 3 tokens at the Despot 001, Then change Auroradon and token for Lion. Then we go for Librarian. I like to play it in defense to play around Lightning Storm. Then we go for Formula Synchron and draw 2. What are we going to draw? We're basically going to keep on drawing hand traps or Eldlich combo pieces. So we're going to, so in summary, we're going to be drawing into more defense. So then Axel to get another free card, and then Boris Savage in defense. And then we got like the Curse Eldland, and then we got Conquistador, and then Scarlet Sanguine. If you look carefully, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5 interruptions and Borreload Savage. So it's 1 Savage, 2 Conquistador, 3 sorry for that, 3 the Ghost Augur, 4 Nibiru, 5 Effect Bailer, and possibly one more with Phantasme. Like, this is unreal. Even if they manage to pull through, what is going to happen is that we are going to recombo them again. For a shorter combo, sure, but I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be able to stand up after that. One thing to consider is that if we activate a Scarlet Sanguine, we can use Phantasme and Nibiru, so we have to be careful in the order we activate the stuff. And I'm going to show you the combo with Despot 003, which is pretty similar, but needs has one key difference. So we summon the Despot, Crystron. In this case, we're going to get Jet. We're going to summon Linkros. In this case, we're only going to summon one token, right? Here we're going to discard for Jet, and then Barricade Pork, Auroradon, and then the combo is pretty much the same. Here tokens, Despot 001, Lion, Formula in defense, Librarian in defense, Formula Synchron, draw 2. Here I shouldn't have added until the last, then Axel Synchron, until the last card drawn, but whatever. Here I fucked up because I put it in attack position because I was thinking that other thing, but it should be defense. Why so? Because Golden Boy cannot run over it, which is like the biggest threat. Golden Boy and the Blood Dragon, so it's safer to just put it in defense, so Lightning Storm has like no value. In that case, they are going to basically have to use like Lightning Storm to try to wipe the back row, but we don't care much about the back row. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5 interruptions again. I mean, this deck is stupidly ridiculous because it can play Yu-Gi-Oh going first or going second, which is something that Emancipator can't. Like the Emancipator mirrors are usually kind of die rolly, so that's not amazing. So let's check the list and make our conclusions. The first conclusion is that Nibiru is more effective when paired up with other hand traps because your opponent is unlikely to have enough negations to play around this or 2 of this, and then Nibiru is pretty much impossible. We play Phantasme to increase the odds of seeing hand traps, so that's critical, and also to protect our setups from targeting, so that's good. We only play like 2 Conquistador and 2 Vaquero because my intention is not to grind with the deck, but rather to win with the combo, so it's pretty much unnecessary to play the 3rd copy, so I think we're going to get there eventually. I play Ghost Ogre because it's incredibly effective it's incredibly effective against Fibrax and Auroradon combo setups, so it's literally best hand trap you can ask for this kind of combos. We played 2 Lions to make sure we always have one in deck, and that's pretty much it. It is the best deck of this May 2020 format because it can play Yu-Gi-Oh going first or going second, which is something that at Emancipator, which is 40 combo pieces, the deck, is something that at Emancipator can't do because it's 40 combo pieces. In this case we have like 20 combo pieces, 25 combo pieces, and then 14 unrelated combo pieces, and that allows us to play consistent Yu-Gi-Oh, which is pretty good. At Emancipator suffers a bit from the Pendulum Syndrome. The Pendulum Syndrome is that your deck is all focused on the attack that it cannot defend. Literally, Pendulum has a terrible matchup against anything when it goes second. Anything competitive, because if it plays against stuff like Altergeist or Guru, it's going to have a great chance to beat them. But against anything remotely competitive, like Pendulum has no chance. Well, it's pretty much the same thing with Adamancipators. Adamancipator mirrors are so bad when played with two competent players. Like they're so bad, and this literally fixes the problem. Like you can play Emancipators and risk facing this thing or an Emancipator mirror, or you can play this thing and have a great time, have a chance to play Yu-Gi-Oh, which is good if you're a good player. So that's that. I don't think I have any other closing thoughts. So let me know if you want to, if you have a question or want to know something else. Let me know. The next deck I'm going to break up is going to be Emancipator because it's relevant. And that's pretty much for today. See you later, guys.